the combine teams, it is really bad. The NBA draft, as we have said many times, is bad. But it is
Well, hey
interesting to see
now.
how people are saying
Hey now.
it's really bad. The quotes coming out from scouts pretty much saying, it's like if you took away the first top 10 picks from a normal draft and then started drafting. I mean, if your number one pick is Tobias Harris level player, that's a yikes. I mean, there's some serious, like,
Tobias
we
Harris.
wouldn't trade Darius Garland for, we wouldn't, there's serious conversations of wouldn't trade like Darius Garland for the number one overall pick. Like, I'm just saying, this draft isn't great. And the best way for me to tell
Well, is that
that the
just because of
draft
it's
wasn't great?
Atlanta?
No, well, no, it's because of the prospects that are in the draft. And the
I don't
way
know. That's
I could
close.
tell that this draft wasn't great is that all the players were actually at the combine and were
Yes,
actually
I
trying
was going to
out
bring that up.
because if they were good, they would not be there and no one would care and they'd just be, but because that they are there, that shows you it is desperate times for this draft.
Here's what I'll say. Don't just take everybody's word that this draft is bad. There are going to be good players in this draft. You just have to find who they are. So I'm not out on this draft. And I get there may
So
not be
don't listen to the
there may
experts.
not, yeah, don't listen to the experts. There may not be a guy that's viewed as that generational prospect. I get it. But I mean, let's be honest. The league is in a good spot. And there's
That's
not
true.
there's not really a team that needs the elite guy. The funny thing is, if you look at the league, you probably could say Atlanta if they trade Trae Young, which is kind of funny that the league, who knows? I guess Washington doesn't really have that guy either. They'll have the number 2 pick, but most everybody has at least a guy. And I would say, I'm just gonna say this off the top, but like 26 teams have like 2 guys, maybe like 24 teams have 2 guys that they really, really like. So I feel like the league has a lot of
In the
talent. We don't
draft.
know, like on their team
Oh,
already.
in their teams, on their teams. Yeah, you're right.
So I feel like we don't
Well, I
need a
mean, do the
generational player
Trailblazers have
necessarily.
two? I don't know.
Well, that's why I
No.
backed off a little bit. But I even still
Yeah, I was
like
like,
Scoot and Simons.
I don't know if they really like Scoop, but
I mean, that's
there's hope.
something.
I mean,
Scoot's 19.
but this is still a yikes of a draft. And when you consider that next year, the number one overall pick's kind of Cooper Flag, probably, Ace Bailey's there. Come on, Maluch
Ace
from
Bailey.
the
How much Ace
Academy,
Bailey? You haven't
Africa.
even watched Ace Bailey tape yet. I'm not
I'm,
saying he's
I'm
not
just saying.
better than any of these guys. I'm just saying I don't know anything about Ace Bailey to
That's my
say that
point.
he's much better.
He's definitely. I think so. For the number one pick, probably
Ace
Alex
Bailey sounds
Sarr,
like he's a baller, though.
and
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I think he is. In a normal draft, where would you take Alex Sarr or whoever is the number one pick? Like, where would you put him in the normal one? Because he's definitely not a top 5 pick in like a normal draft.
Let me pull up last year's draft real quick and see where he goes, because he's not going over Wemby, obviously, but Sarr versus Brandon Miller, still probably Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller looked pretty good this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Sarr versus Scoot.
Okay. All right. All right. It was a yikes. Let's rank this year's top 20. Where is it was last year? I just saying the upside of this draft class is yikes.
Would you take Sarr over Hawkes if Hawkes is the 3rd best player in the draft?
No,
Oh,
I
come
would
on.
not take. I would not take Sarah over Hawkins. Jaime Hawkins.
Okay, Jaime
A
Hawkes.
second later.
Okay, I guess I shouldn't be so definitive. I guess there's an argument though, both ways, right? I feel like there's a case there. You can make the case for him
Yeah.
to be the 3rd player in the draft.
I wouldn't. I'm trusting the experts, and the experts are saying not top 10. I'd at least have him outside the top 5. That's where I'd put him.
Just watch him a little
I'm
bit.
telling you, if
Give him a
Darius
chance.
Garland, if Darius Garland isn't considered like as a legit option, if you trade him for the number one pick, like considering the kind of player Darius Garland is, like that
But Darius
that is
Garland
seriously worrying.
might make an All NBA team. Like that's you at least would hope
Yeah,
that
he's
he gets to
good.
that level.
Yeah, but like in a normal draft, the number one pick, you're talking about like a legit star, not like a pretty good player.
I'm just saying I don't think a lot of teams need that. So I think it's okay that we might have a guy who gets drafted as like the second best player on a team. Like if Alexander Sarr ends up being the second best player on the Spurs, like I mean that's a win of a draft pick. Like what was
We'll
Aaron
see.
Gordon? Like Aaron Gordon was the fourth overall pick. Is that not a I mean I get he's not contributing for the team that drafted
Yeah,
him, but just in theory, the player that he's become, like, and I don't know that draft off the top of my head, so I don't know if he would go forth in the redraft, but that's a successful player. Like his career is panned out. It's a successful career. So just because he's the fourth overall pick and he didn't necessarily all tons of all NBA, like he's winning playoff games. So like
he is.
realistically, like it's fun and cool and all that stuff if guys make all NBAs and also like we want guys to be successful at a high level, but I want my team to win the title. Can one of these guys step in and win some playoff games? That's what you want out of this class. And that's there's going to be a guy.
That's not what you want out of your number one overall pick, though.
Give these guys a chance. It's crazy that
If
people
you
are
have a
just
number
writing
one
these kids
overall
off.
pick, you're looking for a cornerstone.
We
We'll
did this.
see. I'm
but
not
the thing is,
saying these guys are going to be out the league.
We did this
I'm
in
not saying they're
20.
not rotation
We did
pieces.
this in 2013, and Giannis was in the 2013 draft.
Yeah, but there was the potential though. And I mean, Giannis literally grew. Like, he like literally grew inches, like, pause, but he literally grew up. So, he literally changed as a human being. So, you couldn't project, but you look at him as a prospect, like you didn't really know he was overseas. It was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to get film on him. Like there's potential there, but he literally changed as a human being. So that's a little tougher to call. I'm just saying, for me, if you're doing the number one, number two, number three, you're looking for at least a cornerstone or close. I'm not saying these players aren't going to be in the league. I'm not. Well, some of them later on, who knows? But I do think it is a particularly weak draft when you consider other players that are normally drafted at those spots. And it's so weak that Bronny James might get drafted. I mean, geez Louise, is Bronny even ranked in like last year's draft or next year's draft? Like, I think it's, kind of convenient that he came out this year, even though everyone is saying he should go out next year because there's a high chance he doesn't get drafted next year.
I do agree with you with that. And I do agree with the fact that this might not be a draft where we get like a ton of all-stars. I get that. I'm just saying that there will be a couple of guys that ascend to be good players out of this draft. That's just a fact. Like I don't, I'm gonna have to go back and look, but I just don't think that there's ever been a draft that's like completely just been like just a complete wash. There was a stretch there where they were all doing cocaine, so you never know.
Like hey, look, man,
you never know what happened in the 70s, but.
I agree. They're not all going to be bums. It's going to be like probably I could see like a second option for a title team being on one of these, but definitely not any Hall of Famers. But have you liked what you?
Should we make a bet?
No Hall of Fame. Zero Hall of Famers from this draft.
I'm saying there will be a Hall of Famer in this class. You're taking no Hall of Famers?
Yeah, I'm saying no Hall of Famers. It's on the pod.
Okay.
I don't know. The Hall of Fame bar is pretty low, but
we'll do a dinner.
It's first take stop. What, in 30 years?
Yeah, let's just put it on the books.
Oh gosh.
I need to start saving
anyway. And it's gonna be Bronny James. I mean, where do you have Bronny? Like, is he a player worth drafting? Because this is the thing. I know people are like, oh, give him a chance, let him play, let him see. We've seen him play. He's playing at the combine. Like, we're done with that excuse. So now that we've seen him put a couple reps, I know there was that one game where he put up 2 floaters. And the second game, he actually looked like he had some decent plays. So, I mean, are you going to really draft a 6'1.5" player? Like, I'm telling you, I'm not doing that.
I do agree. Going back to something you said and what we were talking about, I do agree with the fact that it is beneficial for him this year that the class is viewed as a little bit weaker because of, I mean, it is what it is, but because of the fact that he could potentially draw his dad as a potential candidate to join the team that he's on. And LeBron has now said to, like I think we're recording this Friday night, LeBron has said that he would not leave LA just to join Bronny. So he's probably, he's trying to probably back off a little bit and give Bronny his own kind of flexibility to maneuver in this draft process. But I kind of disagree with you. I kind of like Bronny as a prospect. And again, I haven't.
Oh, you're in.
I'm just starting to do the draft prep and starting to go through and watch all the guys. So I will admit at this point in the draft process, I've watched more Bronny than a lot of the guys. So this could just be a byproduct of me being a little bit more familiar with him. But I mean, we just saw him be one of the better players at the combine. And I get that Bronny has maybe not necessarily been like the best player at whatever level he's been on, whether it's high school or obviously the USC team. He was an all-American in high school, but it's not like he was the most coveted 5-star type guy. I get the USC team thing didn't necessarily go well, and he's not viewed as a high draft prospect right now. But every time Bronny has been put in these high-level situations, he's always produced, and you can tell at the combine that he is just a better basketball player. And one, he's always produced at these levels in a role. He's always been willing to play a role and produce in that role. And he's always getting better as a basketball player. And you can see his shooting stroke is getting more confident. He's starting to, grow up a little bit, and he's starting to get stronger. Like, the height thing is definitely a note, but for the most part, like, he's a great athlete. And again, he's such a gym rat, and he's such like just a good teammate type guy. Like, especially in these combine scrimmages, you see a lot of these guys can get stuck in like really hunting for their own shot, or hunting not even for like assists, like to play make, but like assists for like the stat purposes. Whereas Bronny was out there in these games just like kind of playing basketball. And I thought in that second game, he really did look a lot more comfortable. Again, after not really even playing that much competitive basketball at USC, after having cardiac arrest and after having a heart attack in the offseason. We can't forget about that. I feel like you have to just almost wash away the college season. So I'm going to bet on the athletic ability. I don't even say this as like a nepotism point. I'll bet on the genes. Like, you do it with a guy like Pat Mahomes. Like, I don't think it's a problem to necessarily bet on kids with athletic backgrounds. It just happens to be that, his is LeBron James, and there's a media thing that goes along with it as well too. But I think that was a benefit for Mahomes. It was a benefit for Donovan Mitchell. So it has to be a benefit for Bronny. And again, I feel like he's like a DiVincenzo type guy, where, and he might not get the offensive levels that DiVincenzo gets, but it's like he is going to be that successful role player at whatever level he is at. He's just going to fit in. He's going to work really hard, and he's going to get his skills up to the level that he needs to be, and he's going to contribute. So I would definitely take him. And I'm not saying like take Bronny in the lottery. I don't know where I'm going to end up with Bronny. I'm not saying that I'm, who knows where I'll end up ranking him overall finally, but at this point, like after watching him perform in the combine and all that stuff, I don't know why you wouldn't take a chance on Bronny James. Just to me, that would make a ton of sense.
I think you wouldn't take a chance because he's too short. I mean, I do think, I have seen some interesting IQ stuff. But I have seen people mention, he's got to take another step as a defender to be a serious, because of his size, he has to be an elite defender. And I've seen people mention him pretty much as the poor man's Davion Mitchell.
I think he's better than Davion Mitchell. I was thinking that when I was watching him. I was like, he's at least better than Davion Mitchell. And Davion Mitchell is a rotation guy. So you have to draft him. If he's better than Davion Mitchell, you have to draft him.
I mean, Davion Mitchell did lead a title team in college. Like, I get it, Bronny did have a cardiac arrest. He did have that. But at some point, a couple months after, like at some point he has to recover from that, and to not see him show greatness, he showed good plays, but not show greatness, it does worry me a bit on the college level, and hopefully it translates to the league. We'll see. I do think he is going to get drafted. I think it's probably going to be the Lakers. It's just what you do. They're going to get him in there, but he's probably going to end up going to the G League. And just not having size is inexcusable in the playoffs unless you're a really special player playing special, e.g., Jalen Brunson recently, Curry in the past, Chris Paul known as the point guard, something great like that. It's really tough to find minutes around the league. There's just more and more bigger players who could do those exact same things and not become as big of a liability on defense because of their size. And so when you look at players like, shout out TJ McConnell, who's edge found a way for himself in the league. Shout out to the Jones brothers, both of them, Trey and Ty, who have found ways to make a living in the league. Like there's been obviously spots where smart players have been able to find their way in the league. And Bronny's gonna make it because of that. But yeah,
So then you
we'll
have to
see.
draft him.
Well, yeah. So that's the point is that while I understand there's clearly a role in the league for someone his size playing like that, high IQ player, he can definitely be a backup guard. I personally wouldn't draft him because I prefer size. I think size is just where the league is headed. But for now, I do think that there is still a place in the league for good guards, and I do think he will be drafted. I don't think he's a bum. I definitely
And
think he'll get drafted. We'll see.
and I do think the height thing is like, in certain matchups, it might be a problem. Maybe he's not a final five guy on every team, like you're saying, because the league is trending bigger like that. But he does also have a 6'7" wingspan. So that's where the Mitchell thing comes into effect, where it's kind of like, his length is going to bother people on the perimeter. And if he locks in defensively, and I think even watching the USC highlights, like the athleticism definitely shows, and you see him flying around the court, and
Yeah.
it definitely translated at the combine. So with the way his shooting form looked, and just again the fact that every time you see him, and again that's just the fact that I've had so much exposure to him and seen him on all these levels, but he has just always continued to progress and get better, and he's going to be in the gym, and he's going to be working hard, and that's just always something you want to bet on with drafting a guy. And I just don't the work ethic. I know you're saying the Lakers, and I could definitely see it, but the rumors I was seeing right now was the Jazz at 32 were rumored as a Bronny James landing spot, and that would be into the second round, top of the second round. So like San Antonio at 35 right now, and I don't know if Utah's just trying to like mess with everybody's head, but if he was on the board at 35 for San Antonio and they took him, that would be an A+ pick in my mind. I think that's absolutely awesome. He's at best, or at worst, he's like a backup point guard who's going to be defensively contribute and hit threes in certain matchups. And like you're saying, he's just going to find a way to contribute and have a role on the court. So if you're talking top of the second round, end of the first round for Bronny James, again, initially,
Yeah.
if that's the range for me, that's totally fine for that type of player.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't, he's definitely going to get drafted. I think if anything, he's probably a second rounder, but, he'll get somewhere. He'll find a home in the league, whether it be in the NBA or in the G League. He'll find somewhere a spot.
I mean, he definitely would have played for the Spurs last year, right? He's getting minutes.
I don't know. I guess. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very much up in the air about where he's playing. I'm not nearly
Timberwolves at
as firm as
37?
you with it. The Thunder Pups, are they really giving him minutes? They're not drafting him. I
He'll
don't
be the
think
third guard in
Timberwolves will.
Minnesota.
We'll see. I don't know. I just don't see it for him with the Timberwolves. I do see it with like maybe like the Hawks, like teams that need guards, but I think Timberwolves got plenty. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really so up in the air about him. I haven't made up my mind and probably won't until after the draft. I don't know. I don't think he's a bum for sure. I definitely see some elite quality. So,
and I know
there's
he had
something there. It's just
expectations to
what.
produce at USC, but we've also seen guys drafted throughout the draft that have not producing, like have just been theoretical guys. Guys like that get drafted all the time. And I get that, that type of player might be like a 6'9" forward type of guy, but we've also seen that with the guard position. So if Bronny falls in that, just because he was this, and again, with the cardiac arrest, but even let's just take that off the table and say he did what he did at USC last season. Like, I don't know. I mean, that's a different thing, but I do think that even the stats aside, like if we're looking in the second round, like at some point, the stats haven't mattered in the past. And like the international guys that check into the game for get 17 minutes a game and score 4 points and get drafted. I mean, those guys got overdrafted all the time. I feel like the international guys are starting to produce a little bit more now when they get drafted high. But
yeah,
I'm just saying, watch the tape, give Bronny a chance, and watch some of the rest of the players. Watch Sar. Clingon. I think Clingon is
what's his name? Reed Shepard. He's getting lots of love.
Well, he had a 40-inch vertical at the combine, which I was not expecting. So I was not super bought in on the Reed Shepard hype, but I'm gonna have to reconsider now after that 40-inch vert. But the other French kid, and I don't want to butcher his name, but it's like Reicher. Zachary Reicher, something like that.
Interesting. Yeah.
I really like him. I mean, our boy Mataz
Bazulius. What is it? The Rising Challenge.
Yeah.
Rising Challenge game. That was a huge moment for him. Drag that team.
There's a handful of international guys that I really like. Another guy whose name I don't want to butcher, and I haven't really started watching it, but Tidjan Saloon. Oh boy, that's not good. But if you're looking at a board, you'll know who I'm talking about. But that's as close as I can get.
If you know, you know. See here. Last main thing that we had, Scotty Scheffler this morning, the #1 player in golf, got arrested. He trying to get around a traffic jam. I think he ran away from some cops. I guess it probably was a mistake. Bang bang thing, it sounded like. And yeah, I guess right before the PGA Tour, he got arrested. He did make it back in time. Still head of the PGA Championship. Shout out to him. I think he's at.
Where's he at on the leaderboard right now?
-12. Yeah, he's like a -12, and the next guy is -11 or something.
So he's in first.
Yeah, he's still in first.
Jeez, that is impressive.
Yeah. Wait, no, is he? Oh no, he's not. Psych, I lied.
Oh,
it was someone else who had a similar close name to him. So he's fourth. He's fourth at -9. So he lost or he gained. I don't know how it works. He's at -9. Top guy X Schauffele is at -12. I'm not gonna say here and act like I know Masters.
Oh, is it Schauffele?
Schauffele, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Tiger got cut. Poor guy. Yeah.
You've been spending too much time on the ultimate frisbee course. We need to get you on the golf course.
No, I'm good. I don't have a stroke like that. Do you? I'm a mini golf guy. Mini golf, I'm a tough out.
That's half the game. Putting is half the game.
I know. But then it's the hitting far away. I don't want to be chasing after the ball everywhere.
Have you ever done like a driving range?
No, I've never gone to
That's the place to start.
Pro golf?
The place to start is or just like any golf course. Just go out to the golf course and go to the driving range. Usually I know like cost is going to be a little bit different, but like in the Midwest,
yeah,
a bucket of golf balls is like $10 for like the bigger, extra large bucket. Pause. But and then maybe you have to rent a club as well too. I think sometimes they just give it to you, but maybe it's like a couple bucks to rent a club, and then you can just go out and practice your swing on the driving range. So if you're doing that, do that a couple times. Mini golf, and then just go out to the course once and try to put it all together and see how it goes. So shout out to the champ. If I ever go out to the driving range, it's usually with the champ. And
okay, shout out.
Hopefully that's something we definitely do this summer. It's something that we've done in the past. So we should probably actually play a course a little bit more.
Yeah.
But we've definitely done the driving range quite a bit. And we haven't had a top golf setup in the Midwest as well, too. But we've actually got one now. I didn't know if you knew that, but it's not a Top Golf,
Interesting.
but we've got a Top Golf like thing. So we might definitely try that out as well, too. But if you're doing that, have you ever done one of those?
Top Golf? No, that was what I was thinking of.
I mean, that's an even better place to start because that you can just get away with messing around there. So if you do Top Golf and then go to the driving range, I mean, you're
Yeah, I gotta
set.
start up with Top Golf. All right, all right.
I mean, honestly, Sam, you're kind of slacking a little bit. Have you never been to Top Golf?
Never
You've
been to
never
Top
taken
Golf.
the lady on a or like a have you ever done like a simulator? Golf simulator?
I think I did it once. Oh, Rem giving me games. So Top Golf is a top idea,
I'm giving
huh?
you advice.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. There was one time I was supposed to go do Top Golf, but like it was like in the city. It was like in San Francisco or something. I don't know. It's pretty tough to get to, but we'll figure it out.
This a hot take? I don't even feel like it is, but I think like Top Golf, I would take over mini golf.
Mm. I just
And
like walking around doing the wacky like courses because usually there's like wacky stuff you can do.
you like the pirate ships? Seems like I just love
Yeah,
hitting this in the mouth of a crocodile.
I do like a revolving windmill.
Just
Gotta
right.
time it.
Sam always just like there's the path that's the easy path and the one that's over the bridge, and he's always going over the bridge.
Hey, you know me, hardest road. But I am writing it down. Top Golf.
I'm not. In all seriousness, Top Golf is one of the best activities to get like things to go do. It's great. It's so much fun. And you can. I don't even know if this counts in the experience, like compared to mini golf, but you get the food, the sit down food element as well too, as an added benefit.
That's true.
So, shout out to
it's almost like bowling. Bowling is
exactly.
like a thing there. Yeah.
100%. And shout out to Top Golf for the fried mac and cheese bites. Man. Holy cow, those are good.
Jeez, why don't you just sponsor us already?
Yeah, we'll take. I just take a fried mac and cheese bite sponsorship. That's all I'd be.
Just one free one. We'll take.
I'd just be getting the Top Golf sponsorship for that, anyways.
That is crazy. But shout out to Top Golf. I might have to look. We have one in the area. I'm using their an innovative website.
Top-notch mobile experience. But I'm telling you, if you do that, you'll get used to just at least going through the motions, and then you'll be all set for the driving range. And the Top Golf is nice too because you have a couple different clubs you can use. You have all your irons and stuff. You can mess around with the couple different things.
Man, Top Golf, not a cheap prospect, but I bet lots of fun.
It's definitely a group experience.
Yeah, you definitely want to do it as a group.
Because you can get like a suite. They hold like 5 or 6 people, and then you can just split the cost of everything. So if you max out a suite, then it's a good.
Yeah, if you max out a suite, it's looking at it now, it's about like 150. So you max out a suite
for
like
how long?
People.
An hour?
2 hours.
Okay, so like 75 an hour. Is that Saturday night?
Yeah, it's like the weekend.
That's crazy. That's definitely a little bit more out in the Bay than it is here.
Yeah, everything's more out here in the Bay. Everything's a lot more. Welcome to the Bay.
I want to say it's like, and it's not, again, it's not Top Golf name brand, so that might knock the price down a little bit as well, too.
It would be 30 if you had 6 people there, by the way.
Yeah. It might be like 55, 60 bucks an hour here.
Wow.
That type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's still like $30, $40 cheaper. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess with Bay Area, everything's more expensive. I mean, we're paying for like $5 gas here, so shout out.
But unfortunately, Scotty Scheffler was not going to Top Golf this morning. He was going to the PGA Championship. And
he got arrested.
Did you see the full story? So like
I saw that he dragged an officer
in
the car.
And I shouldn't say this, but like I don't know if I'm gonna get
Oh,
all the details right.
let it out.
I don't know if I should tell the story, but we're only journalists half the time. So he was like apparently going around like a bus that was parked, and I should be careful because
Yeah.
it was a bus that caused the accident. But he was going around another parked vehicle, and the police were telling him to stop. That wasn't the right way. And one of the police jumped
Yeah.
on his car apparently, and he
Yeah.
continued to drive like another 20 plus yards with the officer
But
on his
like if you're
car. He said he
driving
didn't know it was an
around,
officer.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I could get it. Like it's early in the morning, you're focused on something else. You see this going on, you think it's like event security and you're used to driving around stuff like this. Like it kind of makes sense. I don't really, and it's not like he drove miles or he was like zipping through traffic. So
Yeah.
I do think this is one of the rarer cases where it is an honest mistake. Like, he was just not locked into what was going on because he's like kind of focused on one of the biggest tournaments as the number one player in the sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll give it to him. I think it was an honest mistake. I don't know. Do you think there's something nefarious going on? He's trying to
Like, what do you mean? Like, was he
play
trying to run
GTA
over the
lobby? He's trying to zip on out of there. He's like, screw you guys.
Well, they might be thinking that because he got charged with a felony for this.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if it's an accident, you can't drag a cop.
But the thing is, did he continue to drive, or is that just how long it took to slow the car down?
Exactly. Well, 20 yards. I don't know.
How long is 20 yards in a car? If you're going 20 miles an hour?
That's true. I mean, of course, the cops are going to make it seem as bad as possible because they're defending.
Well, no, the cop jumped on his car. Obviously, he's a little dramatic, but
I don't know why the heck you do it. Like, what's the first move? Jumping? I would understand shooting at the car more than jumping on top of it.
True, blow a tire.
What do you like? What is this, Mission Impossible? Like,
he's not Tom Cruise, buddy.
Indiana Jones, you're gonna jump around like you ever seen that scene like Ark in the what is it, Lost Ark? He like climbs around the hole.
This cop's trying to do his own stunts
in his head. you're gonna get climb all around and Scotty for life. Like, what are you gonna? I don't know.
The guy on ESPN on First Take this morning was saying the cop was trying to reach into the car and like open the door and pull Scheffler out of the car and like
what? Bro, all it's over a stop, but like you're gonna like everyone has license plates. Like you can't run anymore.
It's not an audition.
Like,
he's pulling into the event. Like you can track him down later.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a cul-de-sac down there.
Like this is not a through street, and this ain't like a war zone or something. Anyway, I think it's kind of on the officer that he jumped on it, but it is a felony. You can't just be dragging officers.
And I mean, he might have said that he didn't know it was a cop, but I mean, if we're being honest, he probably knew it was a cop. I mean, it was obviously a cop.
I mean, if it's unmarked car,
it's all cops out there.
If it's unmarked. If it's an unmarked car, I kind of get it. Like if you look at the pictures, it does look like they're unmarked. Like,
but they're all wearing these yellow. They're all wearing safety jackets.
So do event people.
But even still, as somebody, it's not like a crazy I mean, it is like maybe like but it's still like somebody in some kind of official capacity.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's a psycho that just ran out there.
He might just have been like, they don't know who I am. Like, he's just used to being waved through, which makes sense for.
And obviously, he didn't put up didn't put up much of a fight either. Like it seemed like he worked. It seemed like he worked with them. Didn't try to make a run for it.
He's just driving over the green, skiing. He's just drifting through.
Imagine if that was the story this morning was. PGA champion Scotty Scheffler just complete mayhem on the course.
Augusta.
Scotty Scheffler is a terrorist.
Oh, they're in Louisiana, in Valhalla. Man, if he kept running, he was about to go to Valhalla. Good.
Yeah, he's like, is this Assassin's Creed? What's going on?
He's gonna be in the wrong Valhalla. I'll tell you that.
Is it the same Valhalla? Are they playing in like Rome or whatever?
No, Valhalla is like.
Is that California?
No, they're in Louisville.
Oh, for
Louisville.
real?
Yeah, Kentucky.
Where's
Louisville.
the Assassin's Creed Valhalla video game?
It's Scandinavian, like it's the Vikings. But I was thinking
Hmm.
more of like Valhalla, like or I guess that is the Norse. Yeah, Norse
Yeah,
heaven, where all the
Viking clan
warriors go.
in England.
Pretty much point is
1872 to
messing with the
1878
cops is
AD.
gonna probably be done. Yeah, you saw the new like Black Samurai or something. They were talking. It was something weird.
Wait, is this a movie?
No, like they're doing they're and the next one they're including a
Oh,
samurai who actually was legit.
have you played the games? I'm not a gamer, so I
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah, no, they but yeah, Assassin's Creed is great.
Yeah, my cousin loves them. I mean, they're critically acclaimed.
Yeah.
I've just never done it, played myself.
Let me
Is that
see
the
here.
newest one?
Yeah, so it seems like so for the new Assassin's Creed, people are mad because the first game that will include Asian um Asian like players will feature a black samurai.
People are
So
upset
it's
about that they're
like
putting Asians in the game.
no, that they're not putting enough. There isn't enough representation.
How many Asians are in the game? Can we get a head count of the
None,
Asians in
none for
Assassin's?
Assassin's Creed, I guess. Besides this game, and that's one of the things that I would argue that like they are in the Middle East, like that is Asia, but I think they know what they are. Yeah, I think that's
Assassin's
where people
Creed
got to be careful with
Mirage.
what they're saying. That was like a half game.
Oh,
That's
Assassin's
not
Creed
the new one.
Shadows.
Shadows, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. Everyone was just mad. There was a black samurai. I don't know. People are mad about it
Jeez.
a lot.
It's
Anyway, that brings
2024,
us.
people.
We're going to the piercing truth. Um.
Wait, can I ask you a racial question quick? I
Oh,
hate
whoa, whoa.
I
Oh,
hate to get
TikTok camera
controversial on the
on.
pod.
Okay, let's see, Rem. Are you going to get canceled or not? Check if my phone camera out. What are you going to say? This might be great for the pod. Clip
No,
it.
so I had an experience at work today, and I was like,
Ooh,
so it was an exchange between me and my boss. I felt like this was
okay.
like the whitest thing that had ever happened, but she went
Okay.
to hand me something, and she made like a sound effect that she was like handing it to me. She was like, choo, and like I grabbed it and was like, and like took it and made another sound effect back. And when she left, I was like, we both just made sound effects. That's like probably the whitest thing ever. Do black people make sound effects like that when you're moving around? Do you go like choo 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 choo?
Yes, Rem, they
Oh,
do.
okay,
Yes,
okay,
I
okay.
can
I didn't know.
confirm.
I didn't know.
I do. I can confirm that black people do make sound effects.
That's good to know.
I can confirm. Yes,
I was
that's
feeling
funny.
I was feeling extra white because my grandma made fried chicken the night before, and make mistake, there was zero seasoning in
Ooh, that's
it.
sorry, Grandma. That was
It
tough.
tasted great, grandma. I mean, it was
Not in 2024.
cooked to perfection, but
Well, is it perfection if
thing.
there's no spicy?
No, I mean,
I ain't
I'm
trying to dunk
saying,
on Grandma
you know,
Murrow, but
it was cooked to perfection, like cooked perfect
Mhm.
texture, like it checked all the rest of the boxes. It just maybe check a little salt in there. So I was I
Prayers are
was
up. It's okay.
I
We
was off my
understand.
balance. I didn't know. I was
Yes, yes. Black people do make sound effects. We do, in fact. I mean, yeah, there's a lot more like songs and stuff, but yeah, who knows? Moving on to the argument that does plague the black community for decades now. Anything involved with LeBron, anything with LeBron, and I guess Stephen A, of course, wants to promote his own show. And so, as a segment, and this is part of the Piercing Truth, on First Take, they put if in a 1v1, LeBron spots Stephen A 99 points, can he score one bucket before LeBron scores 100? Mind you, they get the ball back and forth. Rem, Are you more disappointed that people can't quit making stupid stuff to involve LeBron, or that Stephen A actually believes he can score a bucket on the second best, on what is my GOAT, but at least the second best player of all time?
So you said Stephen A wanted to promote his show, which is important because this was like a fan submitted question on his show. And then they were talking about it on First Take, which, to be fair to First Take, they were talking about this at like the end of First Take. This was like,
yeah, it wasn't A block.
No,
Thank
this
God.
was like 10:45 on a Wednesday. Like, it was sneaking it in at the end. But I mean, let's think about this for a second. If you had 100, like, basically it's can an NBA player can you get to one before an NBA player gets to 100 is the question.
But the NBA player is playing defense on you, though. We're talking about LeBron and him, like, come on.
So
Stephen
Legler
A is not getting the ball down. Like, I'll give it to Legler. He did bring up. Oh yeah, you said.
Well, yeah, he brought up a couple of good points in the one-on-one, which was
or scenarios. Yeah,
if how you check the ball up is really important, because if you like check it up from the free throw line and you get a little bit of space, then it's like, okay, maybe against LeBron, Stephen A can get up a shot real quick. But if LeBron can just like hand it to him in a checkup situation, then LeBron's going to just be right up in his space right away. And the only way Stephen A is able to like move LeBron on like a jab step or something like that and get him off balance would be if LeBron thought he was a threat to like dribble by him and get to the rim, which he just wouldn't be. So he wouldn't really get moved off by any of those fakes. So I thought that was a good point by Legler. But again, if you got a little bit of space on the check and you have 100 shots and mix in a couple of like crazy hook shots, you can't get one to fall. I might be taking Stephen A side with this.
Shot over him. LeBron's swatting everything out of the air. If you're having LeBron 100% engaged, like Bryce and Bronny are in a car suspended over the waterfall or something, and he has to play for his life.
Stephen A.
If LeBron's invested, he's gonna. LeBron's not letting anything up. Like, everything's getting swatted back to the other stanchion. So, like, it's not happening.
Well, okay. Like, LeBron playing for his family's life is a different LeBron. I mean, that's just there's like, deep primal instincts that get tapped into there that you just can't avoid. Like, I mean, he's playing for his family. But the only way Stephen A would get him invested. The only way Stephen A would have a chance is you'd have to tie up his family. Give Stephen A some stakes. Make it even.
Okay, let's do the stakes. All right, Stephen A finally admits LeBron's the GOAT if he beats him. I think LeBron wouldn't let him get a shot. I honestly would be surprised if he could get a shot over LeBron.
Stephen A said he could do it on Jordan.
He was talking about Jordan right then and there, not prime Jordan. He was saying
did he say that?
60. Yeah, he's like, Jordan's like 60. I was like, okay.
He also said that there isn't a player that he couldn't score on in 100 buckets, which I do think is wrong. So like Wembanyama, I'm not getting a shot over. I'll just admit to you right now, I'm not going to get any shot up over Victor Wembanyama. Even if there's space on the check, it doesn't matter. He's blocking the three. It's impossible to score.
What about like Giannis?
Yeah, Giannis.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Well, okay, Embiid, I might be able to get one. There might be one where I don't know, maybe one on Embiid.
How many do you think you could get up over Curry?
Curry, I think I could definitely get one up over Curry.
Yeah, but how many? Like, could you get 5 over Curry? 4 or 5?
Maybe 3.
3. That's kind of funny. Ironic. I don't know. It's just to me, it's more that he thinks he could get any up over LeBron. It's not happening, but who knows?
What players do you think you could definitely score on? At least once.
Pat Bev, actually.
Okay, you want to go one-on-one with Pat Bev?
Give me Pat Bev, a little shorty. Isaiah Thomas. I'm beating Isaiah Thomas.
If we want to do a pod 1v1 with Pat Bev, we'll do it 2v2. I'll take Ron.
Isaiah Thomas, I'm scoring over him.
Do you think you could cross anybody up? Like, could you get anybody with a move? Get them leaning?
Who knows? Really quick, Josh Hart had to literally ask his coach to go on the bench, and then he checked into the he checked back into the game later, then went to the locker room. So it was on the third. So yeah, but he is hurt.
So is Daquan
And
Jeffries playing?
Who knows? And especially, and one of the things people forget is that during the game, you have adrenaline running, so you don't really feel it. And it's really afterwards that it comes to get you. It's where it's like, oh man, I'm actually dying. And I can't attest to this due to my
3 minutes
injury
for Daquan Jeffries tonight.
Hey, that's why you put money down. Hang with us.
We took over 2.5.
My other here, I'll share the screen for my other or if I can get my screen shared. You can share another piercing truth. This is non-sports. This is so crazy. I saw this literally just before the pod and I had to share it.
Ooh, hot off the press.
So in well, he keeps somehow tackling down his opponents in the polls. Hey, yo.
Hey.
Some schedule release videos. The Chargers did an interesting one with doing the Sims.
Seems like they won. Whatever.
Yeah,
what the internet is saying.
They were the ones I talked about. The Chiefs did one where they kept doing the industrial press, like where they crushed everything. I know Apple got in trouble because they did like a similar commercial where they crushed like all these creative stuff, and then it turned out to be the iPad that it was all crushed into, and then people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're saying like creativity's crushed." But in this case, it is good that things are crushed because we did like team items, and yeah, everyone's getting crushed this year. I don't know. Did you take a look at the Colts schedule release video?
You guys are getting crushed in the offseason right now. Every week there's something new. We've got Harrison Butker is just, what is he? He's sexist, and I don't even know what else.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was the
Matt
quote?
Ariza somehow is in the league.
Xavier Worthy got his car stolen.
Snacks crossing.
Was there
Shout out the Colts featuring an elementary school?
I mean, that's like the Chargers putting the Harrison Butker in the kitchen in their video is like Kendrick Lamar referencing Family Matters in his diss track. Just like, oh, the writers, they're just on top of it. They're just like, this just happened. Just chuck it in.
I don't know. You got to watch your man Shane Steichen. He's helping in their schedule release video. He's helping the elementary school
Yeah, the
home
Colts
play for
just
them.
were like, we're gonna go pure sap for this one.
The LA
But
Rams had a pretty good one.
in the disrespect to the Colts as well, too. One primetime game this year, one Sunday night game,
Is it?
one 4 o'clock game, 15 1 o'clock starts. That'll be the most 1 o'clock starts Anthony Richardson ever has. Not because he'll get hurt, but because he'll become a primetime player.
I haven't seen everyone's schedule release video.
No, I was trying to watch a little bit before we jumped on, but
Yeah. The Jags are pretty good. They do a retro one like the Marvel. Have you been watching that in Marvel 97?
no, I don't really end up. I have a hard time watching cartoons like animated shows.
Mm,
I mean, I
really? You're
watched.
not an animated guy.
I watch like South Park, but outside of South
Okay.
Park, that's basically it.
Wow. So no anime, huh?
I watched two
Man, this
episodes
is
of
pretty
What
good by
If.
the Jags. Jags 95. Shout out. They're pretty
Okay.
much copying the Marvel. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, this is definitely like, every team does their own like little thing. Their little but anyway, the Chargers won. Chargers won, but the Jags did kind of popped off. I'm gonna have to look at some others.
You think Harbaugh wrote that video?
I wrote the for the Chargers, maybe. Maybe it might be cool enough. Real quick, Ultimate Frisbee tryouts. We are down to the men only teams. So yeah, the mixed ones, there's just not enough spots this year. But I have talked to sources around the league, and it seems like around the clubs, and it does seem like you need a year to get everyone kind of used to your name, kind of used to who you are, see what kind of player, and then it's the next
Mm.
year where you can really play.
And that's what it was
So
sounding like too. There needs to be like a
yeah, yeah.
networking process.
Yeah, like people got to actually know you because it's just a huge area, and there's just so many good players, and like the ratio is crazy. Like at our last tryout, there were like 30 guys and 6 female matching players,
Mm.
and it's like for a team of 25-ish, and then that's not including the actual players on their team. That's just people trying out. So like it's
And do you like have
it's
to
it's
have a certain
tough.
number of each side
Yeah, yeah,
on a co-ed
yeah,
team?
yeah, yeah. Yeah. You have on a co-ed team, like every time you play, you're either doing like 4 male matching and 3 female matching, or 4 female matching and 3 male matching. So it has to be usually 4-3.
So you've got 3 spots on the roster filled up by the or 3 or 4 spots filled up for the fact that you're just not a chick.
Yeah.
So you're not going to make the
Yeah.
team that way. So now you've got 4 times as many guys trying out for
No, it's tough.
the same amount of spots.
It's tough. It's crazy. But that's why they're so good, the teams here, because it's just the competition's insane.
It's
Like
harder to make than the WNBA.
it's wild. So like in my no in back in Iowa, I think they would put the top 4 teams, I want to say top 4 or 3 or 4 teams would make it from sectionals to regionals. Here, the top 10 teams make it to regionals. So they
Mm.
just give so many chances to teams. Like it's just this area is so good at this one place. It's tough. So no, and like the team I was competing for was like a team that could have maybe gone to regionals, and then they didn't make it, but they're in the game to go. Anyway, all I had to say, I'm still practicing with them. We're still building rep while we compete for other teams. Build for next year. So, um, but we'll probably play on some all men team and get our reps that way. It's just the only thing that sucks is you have to travel farther for tournaments because they're like further south or north, but whatever. And then
Mm.
D3 Nationals start tomorrow. D3 teams, one of them being Grinnell. I don't know if Grinnell made nationals actually, to be 100% honest,
Oh,
but
uh-oh.
um, yeah, they did lose their best player. So we'll look.
The Grinnell
But
Knicks?
Elephantitis, yeah, for Grinnell, their frisbee team. No, they're not mixed. They're all male team. Let's see, but that starts tomorrow. Let me see here. Okay, so sadly, it doesn't look like Grinnell made it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's too bad. Um, I think one of the normal I'm trying to see St. Olaf, who we've played, is there. There's a couple teams there, but anyway, Carleton, their B team is there.
okay.
So there's some teams from the area. And then UFA, the Alley Cats are
Finally
I
in
think,
action.
yeah, they're in action. They played a couple games.
Let's go.
Um, let's see here. I think they are currently the Alley Cats are undefeated on the season, 1-0 right now.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Um, let's see, they beat the Mechanics. So tomorrow they're
Well,
playing the Atlanta Hustle. Probably. So they got a tough two games. Probably the two best teams in their division, the Atlanta Hustle, who just beat the New York Empire and broke their 30-game winning streak. Um, that's who they're playing, and then they have the Chicago Union, who are a solid team as well. So we'll see how they do. Atlanta's not in their division, but Chicago are. So we'll see. But that Atlanta game is probably one of their toughest all year. So
yeah. Much tougher opponent than the Mechanics.
yep.
And it looks like
Phoenix
they're scheduled
still
for
yet to win a
the
game.
the primetime YouTube game on July 6th versus Colorado.
Got to tune in for that.
I'm waiting. Put me in the
Colorado.
waiting room already.
Oh, he's there.
I'm first one in, buddy.
Hey. Oh, was there really no one else?
Yeah, it's like a month away.
Hey, get pumped. Who is out here supporting the team like us, like
Yeah,
Rem?
bro. Who's
Come
a
on,
who's a
send some
bigger Alley
merch.
Cats fan than me?
Come on, send some merch. We're trying to get Wet and Gale, absolute monster on this team, on the pod. And
Should I slide back into Wet and Gale's DMs? Say what's
hey,
up.
look, man, school's done. It's only summer. Might as well
Wet and
shoot
Gale,
your
look
shot.
out if you're listening to this. You will be hearing from the Rem and Sam podcast soon.
Yeah, let him know. Just I make sure to tell him we're pumped for the game. Upcoming game.
Oh, true.
Also, good luck against the hustle.
I'll just send him a good luck message. I'll let
Yeah,
him know. I mean, they like to hear from me because I gotta be like a
yeah.
top
You're a
five.
fan.
I gotta be a top five Alley Cats fan.
You get out top five easily.
Top 10.
No, you can't get Alley Cats coverage like anywhere else like here.
I mean, I can't be lower than 12 because that's that's us.
Oh gosh. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Alley Cats play too many games early in the season. They probably use up their buys pretty early, but
Which lower cost UFA player should the Canadians target in 2024 to add to their roster for the upcoming season? William Carrier, David Piran, Ellie Tolvanen, Yakov Trenin, or any other suggestion? That's a poll I just saw.
Interesting.
You have a lot of William Carrier stock?
Huge Willem Carey guy.
Oh, yeah? Over David Perrion?
Well, that is close.
I'd have to look into the all
Let's
UFAs.
see. Power rankings right now have the Alley Cats at 12 out of 24. So right in the middle. Smack dab in the middle. Right now, Carolina Flyers, seen as the #1 team in the nation, won the championship, I think, like 3 years ago. So we'll see if they can return. Seattle Shred 3, DC Breeze 4, Austin Soul 5, Austin Soul 4, Colorado 5. New York is all the way down at 7th.
The Hustle are sliding?
No, the Hustle are up. They were sliding a little bit from before, but the New York Empire all the way at
Or the
7.
Empire. Yeah, the Empire.
Yeah. Shout out Oakland Spiders at 10th. They've been really competitive. Up a couple games. The best team, at least I think in their division, or one of the best teams. Yeah, I mean, there's this Colorado and Salt Lake. I think is yeah, Colorado and Salt Lake Shredder above them, but top 10 team here in the Bay. Shout out.
They're gonna have to compete with the Valkyrie soon for tickets for fans.
Yeah, they're playing Salt Lake tonight, actually.
Oh,
Let me see. Let me see. That game might be ongoing. Oh, they're in the fourth quarter. Dang.
do we have a
Salt
score?
Lake is up 25-18. That's tough.
Do you have UFA League Pass?
I do not actually.
Oh,
How much isn't it $10 a month?
that's true. It was monthly. It was crazy. I forgot about that.
It's a $12 a month.
Yikes.
Anyone want to slide their login? Put
Yeah,
in the link. DM us. It is $90 a year, so that's $750 a month.
Okay, so that's how they'll hook you, but that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not horrible. Yeah.
I might have to
Anywho.
reconsider the WNBA League Pass for 35. That seems like much better value.
Yeah. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, you do get any game, and each game is like 2 hours. You know, it's a lot of content.
And Wettengale's not in the WNBA.
Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, quickly with soccer, Premier League is coming to their last day of the year for the last game for the Premier League.
Haaland just went off.
Everyone plays. Yeah, everyone plays at the same time on the same day, so there's no shenanigans. So everyone's playing 8 a.m. on Sunday.
Whoa.
Yeah, every single team in the league plays at the
Whoa.
same time.
I might have to actually lock into that.
So who knows?
Haaland will be
If you're
playing?
up, I think it would be 10 a.m. for you.
And Haaland's
Haaland
playing?
will be playing, and it'll be huge for Man City. They have to win because so right now they are up by 1 point over Arsenal to win the Premier League title. They're up by 2. And so if they win, they clinch their 4th title in a row. I think it's 6 in 8 years, I want to say. Well, 5 in 8 years, something like that. 6 or 7 in 8 years. And so they are up. Yeah, so they are up 2 points over Arsenal. So if they win, they get their 3 points and are in. If they tie and Arsenal wins, then they lose. If they both tie, then it will depend. Then Arsenal will win because so Arsenal's up by 1 over them on goal difference. So that means that the goal difference that means Arsenal has won more games by a lot more, or have won by more goals than the other team. It's like it's goal differential. It's pretty much like differential. So they're up by 1. So if both teams tie, oh no, then Arsenal will still lose because they won't have the points to get up with Man City. So pretty much if Man City ties, gets the 1 point and they're at 89, and Arsenal wins and gets the 3 points and is at 89, Arsenal will win still because they have a 61 goal difference while Man City has 60. So it's literally a difference of 1. That's like how close it is. But so Man City has to win on Sunday to get the title, unless Arsenal falls apart, which they can.
Man City's team name is the Citizens. They're the Man City Citizens.
Yeah, but spelled with a Y, like STYZENS.
Allen might have to request a trade. That's not good.
So Man City will be playing 9th place. West Ham, while Arsenal will be taking on 15th place Everton. Everton has won their last 3 games though, so it is they are on fire. Well, West Ham has lost 3 of their last 4, so Well, even if they are in different places, we'll see. But Holland does need to handle business for them. And so how it works is they'll send the real trophy over to Man City because they're more likely to win, and then they'll send a replica down to Arsenal. So if Arsenal wins, they'll still have a trophy to raise. It just won't be the real one
No. You've also
because
got
Man City's more likely to win.
you've also got Chelsea playing
Yeah. Bright or no,
Bronma
not Bournemouth.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, which shout out to Chelsea. I am very happy to talk about them because since 2024, they've been scoring. They've scored like in terms of points, they've scored more points than anyone else except for the top three teams, which has put them all the way up into seventh place. And they have a chance to hop into sixth place to jump over Tottenham and secure a place in European competition. Because right now we're in the third version, like it's a third division of European competition, and we could move up to the second, like pretty much JV Champions League, it's Europa League, if we pass Tottenham, who at one point was 18 points clear of us at the top of the table, and now they're only like 3 points away. So if we win and in Tottenham lose, then we get pretty much JV Champions League, which is huge for this team because we were talking about, I mean, it was bad. We were down to 12th. People were like talking about relegation and stuff, which wasn't going to happen, but people are overblowing. And
You
now
brought it
once
up.
we're healthy, we're good. We're healthy. We have our best player, Cole Palmer, won Premier League's Young Player of the Year. He was like, he was for a second there, he was tied with Holland near the end of the season for Golden Boot. He definitely has the most. He's tied. Like, there's only two players in all of soccer who has as many goals and assists as him. So, he's making a real case to be the Premier League Player of the Year in his first season at Chelsea at 21. So he's just killing it this year. And now I'm so excited to see him healthy next year with the former top scorer Bundesliga Christopher Nkunku, who's hurt. And then they're going to be playing European soccer. I'm really excited for this team.
So all these teams are playing on the same day or at the same time?
Yeah, both.
Okay. So what's the best game
All
then?
8 a.m. All 8 a.m. on the 19th. I mean, personally, for me, because I'm invested in Chelsea, it's Chelsea. But I would say probably the best game is like keeping on an eye between Man City and the Arsenal game. I mean, probably Man City, to be honest. The
Oh,
Man City
okay.
game, while keeping an eye on the Arsenal score, but yeah,
So
because it's Man City's title to lose.
so we were talking about them, but the three games I would be eyeing would have been that Man City, Arsenal, and then I'll check out Chelsea for the
Yeah,
pod.
shout
But
out. Go
so
Chelsea.
that's good. Okay. The three games I want to lock in on are the ones
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
Shout out
Yeah. All
Peacock.
the other ones are kind of all over the place. I mean, Newcastle and Man United, like Man United is having its worst season like ever. But, we'll see. They might still win a trophy though in their domestic
Everybody gets a
league. But
trophy.
well, so there's like domestic competitions where it's like a bracket. So you play literally everyone in England. And so they all play each other, and then whoever wins at the end gets like one of so they call it FA Cup. There's like a whole documentary actually on Netflix. It's like the oldest competition in the world. Um, but yeah, they have a chance to win it, and then they're gonna be playing Man City for it. And the interesting part is that if Man U won and we were down at seventh, we wouldn't have qualified for European competition because it wouldn't have been because if Man City wins it, they already qualify for competition, so their qualification spot goes to the seventh place team because the
Oh,
six up above already are qualified, but you don't get double qualification, so it just goes to the seventh place team. But if Man U won it, they would have qualified. But now it doesn't matter because we're up in sixth, so we do as long as we hold on to it.
avoid the plan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, avoid getting knocked out in the first place. I think that's all it I had for today. Shout out Pure Vita. Check out their bracelets. Shout out BETSTAMP. Check for all your bets, all that's going on. DRF Sportsbook for our Iowa listeners. We will be having hopefully a guest next week. So that is exciting. exciting. I don't, I don't know. Spurs fan? We'll
Whoa,
see.
whoa.
Yeah. A little bit
Uh-oh.
of Spurs fan. We'll tease a little bit. So,
Follow the feed.
you
Stay
guys can
tuned.
just maybe we can do like a 3-hour breakdown of the Wemby highlight video on NBA
Yeah.
YouTube.
We're gonna go frame by frame through the 2-hour slow-mo video Wemby
Frame
highlights.
by frame by
We'll break it all down.
coming up next week. But make sure to keep an eye out on Tuesday for Rem's midweek pod. Killing it. Yeah, I didn't have much else. I don't know if you had anything else to shout out, Rem, but check the links below.